Hello again, fourth graders, and welcome back to Math Workshop. Today's lesson is 4.8. This is a lesson all about number stories, but in particular, it's about number stories that talk about money. So this is going to be important for us to remember a couple of different things. These are going to be multi-step problems that require lots of steps, so we need to go slow and make sure that we are reading, drawing, and writing what we know about story problems. And the other thing we want to keep track of is also that we're dealing with money. So we have to remember place value, we have to remember dollar signs, we have to remember decimal points when we are writing our answers. We need our units to be included. So these number stories that we're going to talk about today are going to be all about money. And so we're going to have to remember place value to remember ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, etc. And we also want to remember to practice those strategies that we've been talking about the past few days, all about multiplication, right? We know several different strategies now for multiplying, so we'll want to keep those in our back pocket and pull those out as we need to check our work. Right? All right, let's get started. So I want to show you one today. This is sort of a one that we're going to do together, and then we'll do a journal problem out of your journal, and then you can go off and try on your own. So let's try the strategy of reading the problem first, all the way through, just so that we have all the information, and then we'll read it again looking for the really important facts that we need to know, and then we'll go ahead and draw if we need to, and then solve. So here we go. Meg has one $100 bill. Denise has 9 $10 bills. Luke has 100 $1 bills. Don has 6 $10 bills and 30 $1 bills. Who has the most money? So as we were reading, I noticed 4 different names in this story. So we're going to have 4 different number sentences, it sounds like. Let's go back and see what we can find. First, I see Meg, and she has one $100 bill. Then I see Denise. Denise, and I'm using a different color to help myself keep track, has 9 $10 bills. Luke has 100, so 100 $1 bills. And Don has 6 $10 bills and 30 $1 bills. Who has the most money? So who, we need a name, has the most money. So we need to find out how much money does Meg have, how much money does Denise have, how much money does Luke have, how much money does Don have, and find out who has the biggest number. So I'm going to actually create myself 4 separate number sentences, 4 equations. So I'm going to call Meg the letter M. That'll help me keep track. She has one $100 bill. So if I want to find out how much money she has altogether, I need to use the strategy of multiplication. That's the operation I need to do. So she has one $100 bill. So I'm going to multiply 1, the number that she has, times the value of the money. So this is an equation with an unknown. We're solving for what Meg has. So she has one $100 bill. That's a multiplication problem. And the unknown, M, that's what we're solving for. So we need to find out what M is worth. So 1 times 100 equals 100. So M equals 100. So Meg has $100. Let's not forget our dollar sign so that we can keep track. Now let's do for Denise. Denise, we're going to call her D. That's our unknown. That's what we're trying to solve for, how much money Denise has. She has 9 $10 bills. So I'm going to do a multiplication problem of the number of bills that she has, 9, times the value of the bills. Each bill is worth $10 and there are 9 of them. So I'm going to do my skip counting, and I know that 9 times 10 equals 90. So Denise D is worth $90. Now let's do Luke. Luke, we'll call him L, has 100. So 100 is how many bills he has, and the value of each bill is $1. So he has 100 $1 bills. So the value of Luke's money is 1 times 100, which is $100. Now Don, I'm going to actually make him a lowercase d because we already have a D for Denise. His is a little bit more complicated because he has more than one set of money. He has 6 $10 bills. 6 times 10. 6 bills. Each one is worth $10. And 30 $1 bills. 30 bills. Each one is worth $1. So we've actually got 2 multiplication problems. So what we do is we use parentheses. We're going to solve how much money he has in $10 bills, how much money he has in $1 bills, and the word and tells us that we have to use addition. So in order to solve for Don's money, we first need to find out this parenthesis problem, and then we need to find out this parenthesis problem, and once we have them, that's when we do the addition. So let's go. 6 times 10 equals 60. 30 times 1 equals 30. Now I do my addition. 60 plus 30 is 90. So Don has $90. So the question is asking us, who has the most money? Meg has 100, Denise has 90, Luke has 100, and Don has 90. So there isn't one person in this list that has the most. There are 2 people who have equally high numbers. Both Meg and Luke have the highest amounts of money. So the way that we would write this problem is Meg and Luke have the most money. Because we have to be able to answer that question in a complete sentence. So the way that we do that is by finding out who has the most money and writing in a complete sentence. We're going to try one more together and then you're going to go off on your own. So we're going to do journal page 128. This is number 1 out of your journal. So you're going to need to use this chart up here in order to answer the problem. Remember that these are multi-steps. So you're going to need lots of paper, lots of space to do your solving. It says Colleen, Amelia, and Teresa, 3 people, are going home to San Diego. They, meaning the 3 people, buy 3 train tickets using 2 $100 bills. How much change should they get from the cashier? So let's reread and find out what we know. We know there are 3 train tickets. We're going to San Diego. And they're using the train. And they used 2 $100 bills. The question says, how much change should they get from the cashier? So I'm seeing that we've got to do a little bit of work here. We need to look first in the column that says San Diego, and we need to find the section that talks about the train tickets. Here's train. So each ticket to go to San Diego on the train cost $42. But we have 3 people traveling. So we need to do a multiplication problem, don't we? We have to do 3 girls, 3 tickets, times $42 for each ticket. So we'll need to do that. And they're going to pay with 2 $100 bills. And they're going to get some change back. Well, when you get change back, that means you're finding the difference, right? So that means that we're going to be doing subtraction. So let's first find out how much money the 3 train tickets cost. We know they use 2 $100 bills. And we know that there is a subtraction because there's going to be some change. And then when we do these problems, we'll find out how much money the tickets cost. So we'll say the unknown is T. So let's get started. First, we know that 2 times $100 bills, that means that the girls paid $200. Now let's use what we know about partial product or partitioning rectangles to solve 3 times 42. So let's do I'm going to try partitioning, or I'm going to try partial product. I want to try that one because it's a little bit more advanced. So I'm going to do 3 times 2 equals 6, and 3 times 40 equals 120, which means the answer altogether is 126. So they paid $126 for all 3 of the tickets. I'm going to plug that in over here because now I know the answer. They paid $200 to the cashier. The cost of the tickets was $126. Now I'm going to do my subtraction to find out T. How much the tickets cost, how much change we'll get back. So $200 minus 126 requires me to do some subtraction through zeros. So I can't do my takeaway from here because I have 6 and I have 0 to take away from. So I have to go all the way over to the 100s place. I'm going to borrow from here. That turns into 1 to make this 10, but I need it over in the ones place. So I'm going to borrow from here again, leaving 9, and now this becomes 10. 10 take away 6 is 4. 9 take away 2 is 7. 1 take away 1 is 0, so we don't have to put that. And don't forget your dollar sign because we're talking about money. So the amount of change that the girls will get back is $74. So we would put $74 up here, and they've already put your dollar sign there for you. Now let's look at letter B. The cashier wants to use the least number of bills when she gives the girls change. She only has $10 bills and $1 bills. How many $10 bills and $1 bills could she give them? Well, this one is going to require a little bit of fancy talk because we've got to think about how we can give the girls back their money using the least number of bills. Now, if the cashier had lots of money in her drawer, she could, of course, give them a $50 bill maybe for their change, right? Because she'd have all kinds of bills in her drawer. But she's only got $10 bills and she's only got $1 bills. That's all she has. So we've got to think about how she can do this. So the fastest way to do this is then to work backward, right? And the fastest way to do that is division. So if we've only got $74 and we've only got $10 bills and $1 bills, let's think about how we can split this up into tens and ones. Well, that's easy. We've got the tens place right here, which means 7 $10 bills. That makes the $70. And in the ones place, we've got a 4. That's worth $1, right? So we need 4 $1 bills. So we're working backwards using division. We're breaking this number into its 2 place value parts using tens and ones. So the answer is 7 $10 bills and 4 $1 bills is what the cashier needs to give to the girls. Today, you're going to go off and try some of these on your own. You may, the first couple of problems, you'll need this chart to help you on page 128. So be sure that you're remembering all that we've practiced in Unit 4 so far. You know several strategies for multiplication, so you're going to need to pull those out of your pocket to do these problems today. You also need to pay attention to reading the problem several times to pull out all the information, especially if you need to use more operations like addition or subtraction like we did here. Try practicing writing your number sentences with unknowns because that's a skill we'll need to work on. And don't forget your dollar signs in your answer because this lesson is all about money number stories. So as you go off today, really think about all we've learned in Unit 4 and try all of those strategies today in your work. Off you go.